On Tuesday, 8th of September 2020, the Nigerian Army confirmed the killing of Mr. Tewase Akwaza alias Ghana, the most wanted criminal in Benue State. The Benue State government had in 2015 granted amnesty to over 500 persons, including Ghana, who were terrorizing parts of Benue and Taraba states. But most of them relapsed into criminality. It was also reported that the Benue State governor accused the Nigerian military of sabotaging his peace efforts in the state by killing Ghana. The governor accused the army of killing the ex-bandits who were on their way to Makurdi after embracing amnesty. In another news, on Wednesday, the 9th of September 2020, it was reported that not fewer than 14 protesters and 4 journalists were arrested by the Nigerian police in Lagos during an anti-fuel and electricity tariff hike in price, but later released them on the 10th of September 2020. It's no news that the deadly terrorist group called Boko Haram are being captured and taken to the rehabilitation center and later released to the society as repented Boko Haram, while the ones who haven't committed up to half of the crime of these terrorists are being killed. Good day and welcome to Christian in Politics. I am Smart Simon. So today we shall be looking at knowing and defending your fundamental human rights, looking at the various sections of the 1999 Constitution as amended that contain the right of a citizen. We shall be looking at the right of fair hearing, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, and so on. With me in the studio, who will be enlightening us on the right of a citizen, is a learned gentleman, a human rights advocate, Barrister Chiemezem Nzagu, a principal partner of Beck Brooks Legal. You're welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So, can you please read and explain to us the section of the Constitution that highlight the various fundamental human rights?
Okay, thank you. As Nigerians, Chapter 4 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, provides for the fundamental human rights of every citizen of this nation.
Okay.
Every citizen. Now, you can see that from sections 33 to 44. There are about 12 rights enshrined therein. Now, permit me to mention a number of them. The first one is right to life. It's provided for in section 33 rather. Now, that is to say nobody's life can be intentionally taken.
Okay.
Intentionally taken. Now, you have right to dignity of human person, section 34. Everybody every citizen is entitled to dignity and respect and not subjected to inhuman treatment. You have right to personal liberty, section 35. You have right to move around anywhere you want to do, what you want to do. And then you have right to fair hearing, section 36. Before you are condemned, before you are prosecuted, you must be given opportunity to be heard. You have right to life, private life and family life, section 37. You have right to freedom of thought, conscience and religion, section 38. You have right to freedom of expression and press, freedom of expression and press. You have that is section 39. You have right to peaceful assembly and association. You can assemble peacefully without anybody disturbing you. That is in section 40. Section 40 provides for freedom of peaceful association and assembly. Section 41 provides for freedom of movement. You are free to move anywhere you want to go to as long as you are within the country. And then right to freedom from discrimination, section 42. You have a right to own and acquire movable property, section 43. I have right to against compulsory acquisition of property, where your property cannot be forcefully taken from you without your permission and settlement. That is in section 44. So section 33 to section 44 in chapter 4 of the Constitution provides for the fundamental human rights of every citizen of Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much. Now, looking at the section of right to life and right to fair hearing, what will you say about the killing of this most wanted criminal, one-time most wanted criminal, Ghana, by the Nigerian army, even though the governor have already told the media that these people have surrendered and they were on their way to Makurdi. But Ghana was taken out of the other people and he was killed.
Well, I must say it is most unfortunate. His killing is illegal, is unlawful, and it is condemnable. Now, he may have been seen as up. Let us take it from here. His right to fair hearing was violated. Section 36 said that he must be given fair hearing, and he is entitled to a counsel. So that right was also violated. Now, his right to life was violated. We may think he's a criminal, but the question is who proclaimed him or who declared him a criminal? Because now section 36(5) says that every person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Every criminal, every suspect is presumed innocent until proven guilty. Now the question is who proved him guilty? Was he tried in court? Was he prosecuted? Did he testify? We are witnesses called to testify against him. So who proclaimed him or who declared him a criminal? So his right to life was violated because his life was taken intentionally by the Nigerian army. Now secondly, his right to fair hearing was violated because he was not, nobody had his side. It was only media trial we saw. At some point the government declared him wanted, and then they said he was, at some point I think they placed a 10 million bounty on whoever found him. And then suddenly the man comes up and says, okay, I am tired, I want to surrender. And on his way to surrender with his boys, he was killed. So his right to fair hearing was violated. His right to life was violated. His right of being pronounced innocent until pronounced guilty was violated. So 3 of his rights were violated. And that is unlawful on the part of the Nigerian army. And it is condemnable. And actions, the federal government should take it up against the Nigerian army. It was his right. He's a citizen of this nation. He's still a citizen. His rights have been violated. And action. Even you can actually enforce his rights even on his death.
Okay. All right. Now, we all are Nigerians.
Very well.
We stay in this country, and we know what has been happening with these Boko Haram people, who, so to say, when they are captured, we are told that they are usually taken to rehabilitation center, whereas the people they have displaced are suffering internally displaced camps here and there. Now they are taken to those centers, and after a while they will say they are repentant Boko Haram members, and then they are released back to the society. But here we could see that this guy, Ghana, I'm not justifying his actions.
Very well.
And the havoc he has caused in Benue and part of Taraba. But how do you look at it in relating to this Boko Haram? Whereas he was killed, but Boko Haram people are concerned, and they pat them at the back and release them to the society.
Well, on that issue, my opinion is this. I think what is playing out in this nation is, if you belong to a particular tribe or a particular set, and then you're a terrorist or you belong to a terrorist group, and they overpower you and then conquer you, then I tell you, come, just hand over. And then they term them repentant Boko Haram, take you for rehabilitation. From there they release you to the society, and some of them they place them on scholarship and take them abroad. But when you belong to another side, immediately they find a way to eliminate you. It is very wrong, and Nigerians should shout at it. Nigerians should rise to the occasion and condemn it. Now the challenge is how this man was the person that deliberately handed over himself to the state government and said, I want to surrender my ammunitions. And they were going with these ammunitions, I think with about 42 of them, to Makurdi, to go out where they were going for the amnesty, whatever. And on his way, they killed only him. Now this raises a lot of questions. Why only him? Why were others not killed? Now, the Boko Haram said has been terrorizing this nation since 2012 down to today. They have caused a lot of mayhem. Why are those ones termed repentant when they were overpowered and captured? But someone that willingly handed over himself, you eliminated him. It raises a lot of questions in the minds of Nigerians. Oh, because they are not of that extraction. I wouldn't want to mention the name of the extraction, but we all know that is why they eliminated him. Okay, so if he was of Fulani extraction, would they also eliminate him? So it raises a lot of questions in the minds of Nigerians, because the rights of these citizens are violated with reckless abandon, and nobody is speaking out, nobody is saying it. The rights, the civil societies are keeping quiet. I was expecting that since this man was eliminated some weeks back, something would have been done. So the question, it raises a lot of questions in the hearts of Nigerians, and in my mind as a human rights activist, that why is it that when it comes to a particular tribe, those ones are termed repentant, and when it comes to a particular tribe, people who protest on the streets, the IPOB members, so a number of them were killed. We saw the incident that happened in Enugu. Yeah. So if it were to be in the other side, would they not be termed repentant? So why were they killed? So this thing raises a lot of security concerns as to if actually we are together as a nation.
Okay, do you think the military, army in particular, are covering something up which we don't know? Why was the haste in rushing to kill Ghana?
Okay, I wouldn't say exactly that they are covering something, but I'll take it in this angle. When someone has raised in an interview and said, some people were paying me to come and join them and perpetrate crime, and then I will mention names of both the sponsors, and he comes out another day and says, okay, I have handed over, and then the day he was going to hand over his ammunition, a roadblock was mounted and he was eliminated. It raises a lot of concerns as well. That is to say, there is something the military is covering. Why don't they want him to hand over? Why? Because at the process of the amnesty declaration and handing over, he will make some confessions, and he will have to point out some names, and he will lead the troops to certain persons who are perpetrating this crime. So it raises a lot of concerns. Perhaps, I wouldn't want to accuse them directly, the military and the Nigerian army precisely, but the handwriting on the wall and the
some time ago, I can't remember the exact time now, but I know they were proscribed. Had the bandit proscribed already?
Well, I think we should ask this government what is delaying the proscription of the bandits, both the Fulani herdsmen and Boko Haram. Till today, they have not been proscribed. But IPOB, what was their agitation? Give us our own region, we want to go. And they were proscribed terrorists immediately, without haste. No consultation, nothing, they were proscribed. But the people that have rendered people homeless, they have destroyed thousands of homes in this nation since 2014 till date. The statistics are there. And nobody had proscribed them terrorist group, both the Boko Haram, the Fulani herdsmen. So it now raises a question. Is it that the government is part of them? Is it that the government is trying to protect them? So because it is their Fulanis and they are in power, then we should leave them out. They are our brothers. Let us also know that this is one Nigeria, and one day power will rotate. So if it comes to this side, will the same action be taken? Why the haste in proscribing IPOB? Until today, it's over 7 years, and Fulani herdsmen have not been proscribed. They have rendered people no longer farm, and we are talking about agriculture. We have to boost agriculture, where people can go into the farm and they are kidnapped. People are rendered homeless. So I think it raises a lot of concerns as well. What the government's silence raises a lot of eyebrows. Why is the government keeping quiet? We should ask ourselves that question.
All right, as we will soon go on break, but I saw something recently that baffles me about the terrorism index, the World Terrorism Index. And I was dumbfounded. After Afghanistan and Iraq, the next country on the list is Nigeria.
Of course.
So where do you think we are going with this?
At this rate, we are likely going to be number 1 in the next 2 years if nothing is done, if proactive measures are not taken by the federal government. The issue of state police came up the other time, and that was why the Westerners came up with the point of Amotekun, because everybody wants to protect their territory. Because the way it is going, it will come up to one day where we'll sleep and will not wake up. Why? People have come out to kill us at night. And it is spreading like wildfire. Nasarawa here is close to FCT. Kaduna, you can't even, how many people come today? You can't travel through Kaduna Road, Kaduna Abuja Road. You can't travel Kaduna Abuja Nasarawa.
That was a shooting yesterday.
Of course, I just saw that. I just saw that this morning. And this is not the first time. So some months back, before the lockdown, we also had a train was attacked, and then they came out to refute the information. It's okay, but passengers in the train, passengers in the train came out to see it actually happened. We saw it on social media. You know, the challenge is in this era of social media, you can't hide some of these things. It's everywhere. So the challenge is, if the government do not take proactive measures, my challenge is that both the military, I think they are tired. We have been calling change the service chiefs. 8 years. These people are still in power. The first of, okay, about 7 years now. This is the 6th year. They are still in power. Change the service chiefs. Maybe they are tired, they are weak, and the president came up to say they are doing their best. And when somebody is doing his best, and then his best is not worth any result, why are you still leaving the person? Or allow us have state police. Let us go back. Everybody defend your territories. So if care is not taken, Nigeria will climb the index and become number 1.
All right, thank you so much. So viewers, we shall be going on a short break, and when we come back, we shall continue with our discussion. Please stay tuned.
Human rights is for everyone. In a free society, you are free to hear your views. So it is done in a way that is going to help those in leadership, to respect human right for everyone, protection of human rights, freedom of speech. So I don't believe in harassment, in intimidation of any sort, because in a free society, you are free to hear your view. So far, it's not a seditious statement or incitement. But you are speaking to the leadership that what they are doing is wrong.
Our rights are being trampled on. We don't have any rights anyway, because can't even freedom of speech. They are trying to, kill that one as well. There is a bill that is saying that you can't just come and you can't make comments and things like that. There are so many things you cannot do in Nigeria. As a human in Nigeria, our lives are just like a tissue paper. People are being killed every day for nothing. There's a group here and there's a group there thinking they are the owners of Nigeria. And when we look at our women, our girl children, they are not being educated as much as they should. So no, we don't have any right in Nigeria. We are just like sit and watch. There's so much going on in this country today. Palliative, they said they send. Who got palliatives? It's just certain people got. Are we not citizens of this country? I didn't know anybody to say to me, look, I got something from the government. But when we sit, we hear on the television, so many things are going on, but we do not know about them. No, my rights have been taken because I can't stand and talk. You can't criticize the government. When you do, they come for you. My rights have been trampled on. I am not happy. As a woman, a citizen of Nigeria, I am not happy. Because there's so much one could do. But where are you going to do it? Where? How? How are you going to do it? Unless you're from a certain tribe, or unless you're from, from a certain state, or states, or region. Otherwise, nothing will happen to you. Nothing. They can't remember you. Look at the way they share things. They share a lot of government posts and everything. How many women are there? As a woman, what are they doing for us? No. As a woman, I am not happy. As a mother in Nigeria, when your children are out, you're not happy because you don't know what is going to happen. Are they going to come back in one piece? As a citizen, oh no, I am not happy, my darling, because we sleep with one eye open. We don't sleep closing our two eyes because you don't know who's coming for you. You don't know what's happening. Just pray. Let them not remember us. In Jesus' name. Amen.
It's quite touching that a country like Nigeria, who ordinarily should be leading African nations with respect to their rights, is actually taking the back seats. Today, you see the harassment and intimidation of security agencies on innocent citizens. In fact, people are beginning to question whether they are living in a democratic country or they are living in another setting that is completely out of democracy. There are a lot of rights that the Constitution has recognized, and the church too has a duty to make sure that they continue to educate the people about their rights, right to life, right to dignity of human person, and every other thing that concerns it. But again, it's a system. It's a system. The system has not been able to rise up to the occasion that with respect to the challenges that people face when it comes to their rights. What do I mean by this? We have a lot of institutions that are not living up to their standard. We have the National Human Rights Commission, we have the Legal Aid Council, we have other commissions that the government has set up with respect to encouraging and making sure that people's rights are protected. But today what we see is that is either they are underfunded or they are understaffed or other things that have led to their inability to function. So it's a system that everybody will rise up to, because the truth is, when we take away fundamental rights and the rights of human dignity, then there is nothing to live for. I will just tell you what happened, when this issue of rights comes in. We believe that we live in a social contract system where the people have surrendered their political will to government in exchange for government to protect their rights. But what we see today is that government has not been able to keep to their own parts of ensuring that the people's rights are kept, even having voted them into power. So it's a thing that is saddening and sickening. And we look forward to a country that will one day respect every individual right in this country.
The issue of human rights in a country like Nigeria is very challenging because the government does not even help in promoting the human rights of the ordinary citizen. In the Western countries in the developed world, it's very easy to talk about human rights, but there is no human right in Nigeria. You talk about your right, you'll be trampled upon. That is why injustice and wickedness and all sorts of evil are celebrated in Nigeria. Imagine a country where you are not free to even express your opinion. If you say something that the government of the day considers anti-government, even though you may be right, you'll be called somebody who is against the government. You can imagine where hate speech is being promoted beyond proportion. You cannot say your view. Airing your view is part of human rights. And if you are downtrodden, if you are maltreated in the government, in the private sector, you cannot freely talk. And you go to court today, you are not sure you will get justice. Even if you get justice, it may take time. And it is sad that today Nigerians are resorting to human rights organizations, and people don't seem to have much faith in the courts again. And you find people going to the radio house and all sorts of human rights organizations. That is what people are now resorting to, because human rights is not promoted in the country. And I advise this government to have listening ears. People should criticize you when you do wrong, and when you are criticized as a father, you should listen to know what they are saying, even if they say what you don't want to hear, because they are the people that you are leading. You should act like a father, no matter the party, no matter the race, no matter the religion they are coming from. The government, I advise the government to be large-hearted. So the government needs to do more on the issue of human rights in Nigeria. And people are afraid to come and even exercise what they call human rights. And even some human rights organizations don't promote human rights. You can imagine where somebody is caught in an armed robbery and is punished for being involved in armed robbery, and human rights organizations will come and begin to defend the armed robber. When an evil man is killed, human rights organizations will rise up against the killing. So you can see that human rights in Nigeria is highly compromised, and I call on Nigerian government to look into this issue of human rights. Let the citizen, the ordinary citizen, have a sense of protection and a sense of belonging in this nation, Nigeria.
You're welcome back, and thanks for staying tuned. This is still the Christians in Politics program, reaching you from the ACNN TV studio here in Abuja. Please, you can call in for your comments and contributions. Now, from the video,
Yes, sir.
do you agree? Do you think we have human rights in Nigeria?
Well, we have human rights. I will say that we have human rights. But the challenge is, are they enforced?
Okay.
And again, most Nigerians don't even know their rights. If you know your rights, we have human rights. But the challenge is, again, government is trying to cow citizens towards exercising their rights. Government is trying to cow citizens. As I am in this studio, I don't know who is watching. And the truth is, after now, as I'm stepping down, I may be picked up. And that is where a lot of people decide to go back to their shells. As for rights, we have human rights. We have fundamental, very important, fundamental human rights. But the challenge is, the government of the day are not allowing citizens to exercise these rights.
Okay. So we all know that the government have two key primary responsibility.
Yes.
Protection of life and also protection of property. All right. Do you think this government is protecting the citizens of this country?
I will say the governments are not protecting us. As it is in Nigeria today, we are protecting ourselves. Rather, the government that should protect us end up persecuting us. You have seen what is happening on the streets. Youth can't go on the streets now with their phone. They will stop you and they will search you and they search your phone, and the next thing, you are termed a Yahoo boy and you are picked up. You are tagged to be into internet fraud. And that is it. So the government that should protect us are ending up persecuting us. And I want to say, before we go on, sir, that these things are rights, not privileges. They are rights. It is our right. It is it is our entitlement. It is not discretionary. The government does not have a discretion to say, okay, you can exercise it. You cannot. It is our right. It is what we are entitled to, and we should be allowed to exercise it freely, without any obstruction.
All right. Now, where is the judiciary in all of this? Where is the judiciary?
The judiciary is playing their part. The challenge is maybe the judicial system may be a bit slow. But a lot of people are getting their rights enforced at the courts. But it's just that the process is a bit slow. And I think what the judiciary should do should be to review the judicial system so that it could be a bit faster. Set up a court strictly for fundamental enforcement of fundamental rights. If you set up a court and give them the way we have 180 days for the election tribunal to dispense with all election cases, then set up a court that way, that in the next 60 days, or 60 days is even much, 30 days, dispense with all fundamental rights cases. And you see that the government will sit up, seeing that by the time you rule out about 15 judgments in one day, the government will sit up.
All right, viewers, we still wait for your call. You can call in. There is a number on your screen right now. You can call in for your contributions. Now, I'm afraid history may repeat itself.
Okay.
I say so because we all know that Boko Haram started as a result of killing their leader, Mohammed Yusuf in Borno. They demolished where he was staying and he was killed and all of that. From there, it started, and Boko Haram has lasted as long as we can see it now. From 20 what now? I know it started far back, early 2002, 2003, this thing started. Yeah. But it graduated into what it is today from that 2012, where there were bombings all around. Now, the leader of this group in Benue, Ghana, has been killed. Do you think his followers will not resolve in behaving like the Boko Haram behaved in Borno.
So like the challenge, the problem in Nigeria is we don't learn from our past mistakes. And as it is, whether we like it or not, history, this Benue killing, the killing of Ghana, the Benue history, the Boko Haram history is going to repeat. Now, in 2009, like you rightly said, Mohammed Yusuf was killed in front of the police headquarters in Maiduguri. And what happened? Immediately his boys took to the streets and they started ravaging everywhere. And that is what has brought us to where we are. So there are easier ways to settle issues of terrorism. And you know the challenge is, once terrorism starts, it has started. To combat it is very difficult. So what you do is try every measure possible to make sure you combat it before it escalates. Now, the killing of Tewase will cause problem in Benue State. One, the government and the traditional rulers and the clerics invited them for amnesty. Now they came to hand over themselves and their leader has been killed. And you think they will not assume that the government set them up? They will see it as betrayal. And whether there are some members who may not have been seen or who may not have be part of the 42 that came out to surrender. Now those ones will go back and cause more mayhem than they have caused. So as it is, history will repeat itself. Boko Haram we are seeing may be even just 1%, because these ones will go and recruit and come back with full force. So sometimes intelligence, I don't know who the people manage the intelligence of this nation. In developed climes, things are not done this way. Things are not done this way. But in Nigeria is where you come, you kill the kingpin, and before you know it, his boys will definitely retaliate. So as it is, Benue is not safe. I am saying this authoritatively, because with this killing, those boys will go back to what they were doing before they surrendered.
All right, thank you so much. There was even a confession. I read it, that Ghana, before coming out, has said he was tired of staying in the bush.
Yes.
And he decided to take over his powers, all the charms and what have you, and handed it over to his second in command. And I learned that while acquiring those powers, that Ghana had to kill his 11-year-old daughter. He buried her alive to be able to acquire these powers. And that 12-year-old to be able to acquire this power. I learned that armies were always going to his village. They will even go and meet the same Ghana, but they won't know that he is the one. And that the powers have been transferred to this individual as the second in command. So, as you have rightly said, anything is going to be possible.
You know, I was even coming to that. The question is, why was he not arrested all this while? All the while they declared him wanted. Where was he? Why didn't they mean to arrest him all this period until the day he decided to surrender? So we should be thinking outside the box. We should be thinking outside the box.
Now, will the criminals trust the government again?
It's not possible.
Surrendering?
It's not possible.
Or whenever the government called for amnesty?
The government have betrayed them. You tell me to come out and I come out and I surrender my munitions and you kill me. What is left? They can't trust the government. So when you're talking, amnesty cannot work again. We saw it started during the time of Yar'Adua, when he called for the Niger Delta militants to come and surrender. So, but as it is now, these people have lost confidence in the government. They can't even come out again. So it's just to remain where they are and perpetrate crime.
All right, now let's move away from this Ghana killing and then look at the protests that took place in Lagos. During the introduction, we've informed the viewers how these protesters, about 14 of them, were arrested, and then 4 journalists. Why did Nigerian police arrest these peaceful protesters instead of protecting them? Is there any law backing their actions? And if no, what can the protester do legally to the Constitution to seek justice?
You know, the challenge is, I will call them overzealous police officers.
Okay.
Ordinarily, those police officers that arrested them are supposed to be by them to guide them through the period of their protest.
Protesters.
That is what should do. Now, Section 39 and Section 40 provides for freedom of expression and freedom of assembly. You have a right to assemble people and then come out. The country belongs to all of us. It belongs to you, it belongs to me, it belongs to the president, it belongs to the senators. So if there is something going wrong, and as a citizen, as a stakeholder in this nation, I have a right to take to the street and protest. As I am now, I can decide to take placard and go on the street alone to protest. And if there is any police officer around, they should follow me behind and give me escort to see that nobody harms me. Now, when my actions will now cause problems is when I become violent, or when I go outside the exercise of my rights, because where your right stops, that of another person starts. So when you become violent, but it is unfortunate that people who have no ammunition, who have not even a wood in their hands, are arrested for exercising their rights. It becomes very worrisome. Now, it is illegal, it is unlawful, and it is unconstitutional, because they were exercising their fundamental rights given to them by the Constitution, which is the grand norm. So now the challenge is, they have to enforce their rights. They should go to court to seek redress. Their rights have been infringed. They were arrested unlawfully. They were detained for, I think, 24 hours. So they should go to court. Section 40 of the Constitution, which is their right to freedom of expression and freedom of assembly, have been breached. And the court today, there are a number of cases where the courts have granted damages, awarded damages against the police for infringement of rights in such manner. So it is wrong. People should protest without fear or favor and say what is not right in the country. I think where we are missing it is that we call citizens masses, and that is the problem. We are not masses, we are citizens. We are not masses, we are citizens. Because when you call it masses, it looks like we are nobodies. We are stakeholders in this nation, and no police officer, no army, no soldier should arrest anybody who is exercising his right. Just like you are eating your food you bought and somebody came to arrest you for eating your food. It is wrong.
All right. I'm sure you know about jungle justice in this country. It's everywhere now. So what is your take on jungle justice rather than following due process to execute citizens? It happens even by the police themselves. We are not just talking about citizens now who decide to, catch a criminal and then kill him on the spot or burn him. We have seen situations like that. Some of them may even be phoned. Some of them may even be just food. There was a pathetic story of two young people I read who stole food, and there was a jungle justice on them. What is your take on this? Okay, sir, before I come to that, there was something I omitted. Okay. Now, in the previous question, where police officers and security agencies try to hinge the authority to arrest. Now, there's something called Public Order Act, which says that before you carry out any assembly or procession, that you must seek license from the police. Now, a civil society group went to court, and the Court of Appeal said that that act is contrary to Section 40, which provides for peaceful assembly. And they repealed that act. So since then, it is unfortunate that that act, security agencies have refused to enforce that order of court. The court gave a ruling that this act is contrary, it contravenes the provision. And the Constitution provides that once it contravenes, it is null and void. So the court gave that, Court of Appeal Abuja Division, I think it was in 2009 or thereabout, they gave that decision. But to date, that decision is not being enforced. Now, going to jungle justice, it is most unfortunate, and it has become worrisome that it is no longer even citizens that carry out jungle justice. Even security agencies now carry out jungle justice. Like we've seen in the case of Ghana. And then we had the story in Rivers State of the 4 Alu boys that were killed. So, and 4 years after, the court gave judgment that it was illegal and all. So it is very worrisome. It is wrong. It is illegal, and it is unconstitutional, because the Constitution provides that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty. So we can't take it amounts to taking the laws into your hands. It amounts to taking the jungle justice. You can call it jungle justice, it's extrajudicial killing. Now, the person, all you need in Nigeria is to shout ole, and about 5 boys are out to lynch the person. Now, the problem is there is no fair hearing, so the right to fair hearing has been violated. Now, there is no prosecution, no trial, so the right of being presumed innocent until proven guilty by a competent court is no longer there. And then the right to life, because this person still have right to life until the person is proven guilty or convicted by a court of law. So it is very worrisome, and I think there are laws there that cover this thing, but the challenge is implementation. Where the people who are meant to enforce the law themselves are even the ones breaking it, which is the security agencies. Hold your thought. We have a caller from Kaduna. Kevin, please go ahead and make your submission.
Hello.
Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you.
I'm not. Sorry.
All right, we've lost him. You can call back Kevin. We are still here. Now, let's move on to the issue of protection and fight for the right. How can a Nigerian protect and fight for his right? Or maybe I should put it this way. Do you think this is a time for self-defense? Do the Constitution have any provision for self-defense?
Well,
should we protect ourselves by defending ourselves?
Well, I wouldn't say we should defend ourselves because we still run a democratic government. And we are...
But the government is failing us.
It is unfortunate that the government has failed us. But then we should still follow due process. If we are talking about jungle justice, we should still follow due process. Now, how can you protect? The challenge is first, Nigerians should know their rights. Most Nigerians don't know their right. Know your right. That is a way to defend your right. Know your right. And then never give bribe. The moment you give bribe, you have watered down your right. You can no longer have a say.
We have a caller. Yeah, Kevin, please go ahead and speak up.
Good morning. I'm Kevin.
Good morning.
Kevin Owolabi from Kaduna.
Yes, sir.
If the government has failed, and we Christians, there is something more. We have more power. We have power that is greater than that of government. All that we need to do is to pray. When we actually pray, God can defeat any Boko Haram, can defeat any terrorist. Good morning.
Morning.
God can defeat anybody. So they are not the terrorists or whatever name they are called. They are not more than the Christians. It's because we are not praying. We are not doing the right thing as Christians. When we pray, Boko Haram, God will defeat them.
All right, thank you so much. You have made your point. We should pray. Are Nigerians not praying? Kevin is suggesting that Christians have the power to defeat. And I agree with him. We have been praying, right?
Well, much as I agree with him, but faith without work. Faith without work. Yes, we need to pray, but we need to take action. If you sit down and pray alone, well, God will answer. But then God also said that we should work. He said faith without work is dead. So we should work too. So we should know our rights. And we should insist on our rights as Nigerians. We should insist on our rights. I was driving one day and then at night, about 9 p.m., a police at a checkpoint, they stopped me. I stopped, they parked. I put on my inner light. They said I should come down. I came down. He said he wants to search me. I said, where is your search warrant? He was looking at me. He said his uniform is warrant. I said, in which country? Which law? He said, when I get to the police station, I said, I'm ready. He said, who are you? I said, I'm a Nigerian citizen. I told him, okay, I will allow you to search me on one condition. I will search you first. He became angry. He told me, just got this lawyer, so you will be showing yourself when he saw the NBA sticker on my car. So imagine people who do not know this right. He's not entitled to search me. You did not catch me committing any felony or any offense. And then, so you should show me your search warrant to search my pocket at night. So these are some of the rights. Nigerians should know their rights and insist on it. And be ready to commit your time. I was driving somewhere again. I saw these environmental. They are trying to arrest people that hawk on the street. And they were hitting the guy. I had to park and came down. I told you, who is the senior man here? Stop this. You are molesting this man. You are breaching his right. If you want to arrest him peacefully. No, you don't have to assault him. This is assault. They were looking at me. I said, yeah, I stood there for about 30 minutes arguing with them. And the soldiers in another car now came to pick the guy peacefully. I said, yes, if you want to arrest him peacefully, but assaulting him is wrong. So he needs to commit our time. Nigeria it is time we need to put that. The challenge in this nation is nobody is willing to come out. If we call for protest, they have increased fuel price. Are we not as citizens? Don't we have the right to protest against it? But everybody is at home. Everybody is at peace. After all, life goes on. If all of us can come out, insist, it takes time. The rights we're enjoying today, some people fought for it. Exactly. Some people fought for it. And then, we should never let go when we are elected. If your right is violated, go and enforce it. Go to court and seek redress. These are ways we can defend our rights. And when we start defending our rights, the government, the security agencies, and the people that are violating our rights will see that we are ready to take action. And you see that we will be allowed to enforce our right, to exercise our rights freely without any stress.
All right, thank you so much. Now, quickly, your advice to the government?
My advice to the government is that they should know that their primary assignment, why we elected them there, is to protect us. They should protect us and not persecute us. They should protect us. That should be their primary assignment. The president is the chief security officer of this nation. Likewise, the governors, they should protect us. We should be their primary aim, not going with escorts and then allowing us suffer. They should protect us.
All right, so Nigerian security agencies, your advice to them?
Well, those ones, they should stick to their duties. They should stick to their duties. They should not oppress Nigerians, and they should make sure in exercising their responsibility as security agencies, they should work within the ambits of the law. They should not go extrajudicial.
All right, they should work within the ambit of the law. Yeah. What about the National Assembly and the judiciary?
They should make laws. The National Assembly should make laws that will protect citizens and not make laws that will seek to withdraw the rights we have enshrined in the Constitution. We all know about the hate speech and the freedom of press and all. They should make laws that will protect us more, that will solidify the rights we have enshrined in the Constitution already, and not make ones that we want to withdraw them through the back door. And to the judiciary, they should speed up enforcement of fundamental rights. When people come to seek redress, they should try to make efforts to enforce, to dispense with justice at the quickest time.
All right. Finally, to the citizens of this country, looking at the situation we are in now, what would be your advice?
Every Nigerian should get the Constitution. Read from section 33 to 44. Know your right. And not just know your right, stand by it, defend it any day. It is our right. We all own Nigeria together, and nobody is bigger than the law. The Constitution is supreme. Nobody is bigger than the law. Everybody know your right, enforce it, defend it. When things are hard, let us all come out and protest. This is not the first time protesting. People protest in Nigeria. Will protest. They should arrest the whole Nigerians. By the time you arrest 200 million people, we'll know which prison you keep all of us.
All right. We sincerely have to thank you so much, Chiemezem Nzagu, the principal partner, Beck Bros Legal. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
And for coming to educate us on this very important issue of our fundamental human right. Viewers, this is where we call it a day until we come your way again next week. Please get the Constitution, read and know your right. Thank you so much. Next week we will see you again.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and viewers and does not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the Advent Cable Network Nigeria, ACNN TV.